family. This is Terri Thomas, your friendly neighborhood community manager at the Oak Cliff location, 67 in Polk, with another edition of Ask Terri. Anytime you guys want to connect, send your questions to me at askterri.tde@gmail.com. You also can connect with me on any of the social media sites for the Dallas Examiner. So make sure you check below, connect with me, send in all your questions, all things financial. Let's talk about them. Ask Terri. That's what I'm here for. So let's get into the questions for this week. What were they?
Hey, Terri. Our question is, tax season is here, and while it can already cause headaches, scammers can only make it worse. What do people need to look out for this year?
That's a great question, and it's absolutely true. So, Chase has identified 3 things to watch out for this 2024 tax season. The first one is W-2 phishing. What is that, Terri? Criminals will try to trick you into sending confidential W-2 information. Don't give it to them because that W-2 has all your deets. It's got all the details. It has all the things about you. So you want to keep it safe and secure. Do not ever give that information to anyone other than if someone's preparing your taxes for you, then you want to give it to them. But don't give it to someone you don't know or someone who just calls you. That's a scam. The other thing, the second, is IRS impersonations. Scammers will pretend to be the IRS and they will claim that you owe money. So the IRS isn't going to call you. They're going to send you a letter. So don't be scammed over the phone or via email thinking that you've got to send money to someone or providing them information. Ignore. And then the third thing is for our entrepreneurs, employer identification number scams. So fraudulent EIN sites will ask for your confidential information. So you want to be aware of where you're getting your EIN from and who you're providing your EIN information to. Be careful.
So, how do you spot a scam?
That's a great question. I've got a long list, so I'm going to be reading some of them because I wanted to make sure I got all the information for the family. So scammers are always looking for ways to trick consumers out of their hard-earned money. But there are steps that you can take to protect yourself and your loved ones. They often try to create a sense of urgency to get you to share your personal information or to send money. Don't let anybody pressure you or threaten you into giving them your personal information or money. Hang up or just don't respond. If anyone says you must act right now, stop. Ask yourself, is this how a legitimate company would act? If something seems off, it probably is. And y'all, I will say that happened to me. I can share a story. This is going off script, but a company said that I owed them money for a bill for my insurance bill. And I was like, I have insurance, so why am I owing this medical bill? And, I was like, what's the date for the service? And I called my insurance company. And then they called with me to the people that I owed, and it was not a legitimate number because I was just like, I don't think that's right. And she was saying that they were going to be taking me to court or it was going to court. They don't go that quick to court on a medical bill. So think and stop and ask yourself, right? Does this make sense? Y'all don't get into my business. I pay my bills. That's why I had to stop and ask. We family. That's the only reason I'm sharing. All right. The other thing, review your accounts regularly because you want to log into the bank's website and make sure that your information is secure. Your internet connection is secure. You want to avoid public Wi-Fi. Many banks will let you set up account alerts so that you can be notified if a transaction of transactions in your account and on your credit cards in real time. That's a great feature that a lot of banks offer. So take advantage. Set up those alerts. You can set it up for if your balance goes below a certain amount, if a transaction is over a certain dollar amount. There are lots of alerts that you can set up. Take advantage of it. It's free and it's your money. It's a protection. The other thing is It's really important to remember legitimate companies or government agencies like the IRS, they're not going to call, email, send text messages, or send direct messages on social media. You know, Uncle Sam is not going to do that, asking for payment, right? They also are not going to ask you to wire money or to transact payments with gift cards, cryptocurrency, or with cash. They want proof of payment, and you typically that's a cashier's check. They also are not going to ask you to send money to anyone else to prevent fraud, including yourself. So take all of those things into account, and those are some of the things that you can look at to help spot scams.
If someone receives a text or call they think may be a scam, what should they do?
That is a great question. And I talked a little bit about it last week, but if someone calls you and you think it's a scam, hang up, do not call back. If it's a robocall, don't press any numbers. If you've received an email, don't click any links. Also, as consumers, we should never share our banking password, the one-time passcode, or send money to someone who tells you that they're doing so will prevent fraud on their account. Right? If I'm the bank and I'm preventing fraud on your account, I don't need you to send I don't need you to tell me what the passcode was. You either are going to put it in a secure way. You don't ever verbally tell that to someone or share it with them, because that's potentially fraud and a scam. Scammers are always looking for ways to trick our customers, right? They want to call or message you, and they're going to make you panic. So make sure that you just stop and think again, is this how legitimate business would work? They want to they're going to catch you at moments when you might be busy or vulnerable. So just pause. If it's legitimate, and they will call back, or you will be able to call them back. And you can always say, and I do this all the time, a person will call and say they're from AT&T and and they're calling about X, Y, and Z. Okay, I'm gonna call you back. And then I get your bill and call the number that's on the bill. Whether it's a physical bill or your bill gets emailed to you, they'll have a contact number. If they're legitimate, you can always call them back at the number that is on your bill, and they put notes in your account, right? So if they're calling you about whatever, a new this, that, or the third, it will be notated on your account, and you can continue whatever conversation you just had. But if they're a scammer, they're not going to be able to do that. Also, remember, the best defense is to stay calm, confident, and use technology to your advantage. You're going to ignore, delete, and block calls, messages, or emails from sources you don't recognize. And remember that banks will never ask for personal information when we call you or urge you to send money. That's not our prerogative. That's yours. We'll give you your options, what you can do, but we're not going to pressure you or push you to do something to send money or urge you or give you a sense of urgency about that.
So, is there anything else important that you would like to add?
Yeah, you know what? Some of these scams, especially the impersonation scams, they happen year round. So it's not just tax season. Scammers will pretend to be from reputable companies, banks, delivery services to warn you about issues with your account or your order. They will request you to verify information to resolve issues, tricking you into sharing your personal or financial information, right? So again, always stop, think about what you're doing. If it's legitimate, you'll be able to reach them to finish the conversation or to fix whatever the issue is. So, last thing I want y'all to know, you can stay up to date on the most common types of scams and how to protect yourself by visiting www.chase.com/security tips. So, that was a lot of information, but again, you can't grow if you don't know. So that's what we're here for. I want to make sure that if you have questions about anything financial, you send them to me. And how do you do that? You can reach me on any social media with the Dallas Examiner. You can also send your email questions to askterri.tde@gmail.com. So any of those ways, you are able to reach me and we can connect and we can make sure that you are secure, safe, and growing your legacy for your family. All right. I'm out. Come see me if you're in Oak Cliff, 67 in Polk. Again, this is Terri Thomas, Community Manager, JP Morgan Chase Bank. I'll see you guys. Bye.